your first click is on this has to have the focus, right?
Yeah.
You
So
click here and then down arrow key. Everything is down
no,
arrow key.
click on usopen.org, right?
No, this one starting, right?
Shortly. All the way down it will have console, which is
Okay,
Board
that is
feed.
the down arrow.
correct.
So it will be parked on the first scene and then it'll keep going down.
Yeah.
So,
So
walking through.
both of your preambles should be around whatever 5 to 7 minutes. At the most 5 minutes, cannot be more than that. But so that
No, I know that.
Start same time.
No, sync clock means it's 9 8. So I can start at 9 ball.
Okay, can somebody go to this live test and do a mic check?
Is there?
No.
Oh.
He's asking on the phone. you, you're muted. Now unmute and say something so whether they can hear or not.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1 2 3.
आया कि नहीं?
एक्चुअली इधर ही कनेक्टेड है यूट्यूब, लाइव स्ट्रीम चल रहा है ना इधर।
लाइव नहीं चल रहा।
It decides, man, YouTube, when it should prioritize a mobile and when someone should see it. Instantly will not be.
ये वो दूसरा
Oh, sorry.
second for one.
Here are memory.
You will see it.
आया कि नहीं?
Actually इधर ही connected है YouTube. This was freaking off. Then how is it recording all the things we were discussing?
That was not the main plan.
YouTube, when it should prioritize a mobile.
Oh my god. Okay.
When someone should see it. Instantly will not be.
Mic test. Mute test, mic test, both should be done first.
ये वो दूसरा second for one.
I'll use a different one. This has a mute explicitly. Yes. Mute and mute. But this will be hard for
No, this
two
is
of you.
no go.
No go.
इसका कौन सा है?
So no go.
I thought they were going to be in the gym.
Yeah. There's no gym. There are people using the gym.
So you'll continue to set up here for the
We'll
finals.
see how it works.
Okay. Hey, okay.
Please,
Send
Hello, good morning, and good evening, and good afternoon to whichever part of the world you're watching this from. We're so happy to bring you live the 2023 US Open Carom Championship semi-final games. These are the singles being played this morning, and a warm welcome to wherever you're watching this from. We are doing this. Shibu, where are we doing this?
We are in the beautiful city of Frederick in Maryland. We are just an hour away from the country's capital in DC here. Warm city, the temperature is like 69 degrees, bit cloudy here. The US Open 2023 Carom event is happening at the Hampton Inn in Frederick. We are all excited to be here to witness the semifinals.
Hey, we have a loaded program for you, and before we talk about this wonderful program of events today, let me introduce my co-host. You just heard Shibu Joe's national United States Carom player, represented the US in many a World Cup, a seasoned campaigner, and always one of those who are in the top four with a big smile.
Thank you, Murali. Thanks for the introduction here. And me and Murali have been long enough in the Carom journey here in the US, and we are excited to witness this amazing semifinals even today.
So, before we get to the actual part of the semifinals, let me tell you what's on tap today, right? So, it's a loaded day. I think it's going to be about 7 to 8 hours before we wind up. We have the single semifinals being carried live. These are obviously two different games being played. Then we have the doubles finals coming up at about the 11 a.m. time frame. Then after that, we are bringing about 40 kids and having a Carom 101 session, a training camp, so to speak, and that is also going to be brought live for you. We are very proud of what we're trying to do for the community here, and that will be followed by the most awaited singles finals, and to cap it off, we'll have the closing ceremony.
And we are down to the final four here for the 2023 US Open Carom Championship singles event. We have Anil Vemuri, we have Dinesh Babu, we have Chamil Kure from Netherlands, we have Yogesh Pardesi from Pune, India.
Just to add to that, Anil Vemuri has been working in India. He's a professional Carom player, and so is Dinesh Babu. Both of them work for the government, the Accountant General's office. And Yogesh Pardesi, as Shibu pointed out, is also from India. And capping the final four is Chamil Kure, who is right now from Netherlands, but originally from Sri Lanka, and he's been a 10-time national champion for the country of Sri Lanka.
And we are down to the singles semifinals too, between Dinesh Babu versus Anil Vemuri. Both are from the AG office in India, from Telangana state here, and world-class experience. And so we are excited to witness the semifinals shortly.
So, to add to that, Shibu, what a journey it has been for these two guys in the past 3 days. Literally a 12-hour per day program to go through 128 players to be one among the top four. And it is wonderful. It's a testament to their skills and what they bring to the table. And they have been enthralling all audiences everywhere with their skillful play.
Absolutely. And to add to that, both Anil and Dinesh have been playing Carom since their sub-junior days, 1985. It's like 37 years almost of Carom experience, playing sub-junior, winning all kinds of titles. There's a lot of list of titles. It'll take another 10 minutes.
That should be good intro enough. Now we're going to cut live to the board, and then we'll take you from there through the journeys and what they've been doing. Hey, all, here is the live feed for the second semi-final match between Dinesh Babu on your left of the screen, and Anil Vemuri is to the right of your screen. We will keep the scoreboard static in terms of the names. We won't be switching that. The players are seated. The umpires are going through the who goes first process, the toss process. We'll be seeing all that live.
And
So.
Hey, so the semifinals is a best of 3 games, 8 boards, standard 8 boards, best of 3 games, and they are about to toss. We will see, I think the referee is starting with the toss.
Excitement come calmly. So the way instead of the traditional white and black coins being used as toss mechanism, what they just did was the striker drag. Shibu, did you see who won the toss through the striker leg?
No, I haven't seen who. Oh, maybe, yeah. Looks like Anil won the toss.
Okay, so it's Anil who will be starting us off in the best of 3 games in this semi-final. Again, this is the 2023 US Open Carom Championships, the second semi-final game, brought to you live by the United States Carom Association. Hope you enjoy this as much as we will enjoy bringing this to you. The best of 3 games will be, each game is going to be a set of 8 boards. There's no time limit per se, and Anil will start the proceedings. He's ready to strike. This is going to be exciting, Shibu.
Yes, Murali, this is going to be exciting. And then Arun Arora sir is refereeing the match here, and Anil starts with his first strike here. Let's see.
It's a failed strike. Typically, our strikes are as important to the game as the middle part of the game and the end part of the game, the strategies and skills that will be on display. Though it's a failed strike, there's not much of a position for Dinesh.
That's right. Dinesh will, looks like, try to pull.
Quite a few open positions. He will certainly make sure the ones which there's some amount of nervous energy there. Typically, these guys do not miss these coins.
Yes, it is semi-finals. There is definitely tension here. The skill display here.
That is twice in a row. It's very, very uncharacteristic, folks. If you're watching it on your screens, your TVs, let me assure you, these guys are prolific pocketers, greatly skilled. This is a lot at stake. This is semi-finals of the US Carom Open. It's a very prestigious thing for them. They've traveled all the way from India just for participating in this tournament over the past few days.
Absolutely. Looking at the board position, I guess Anil has a little bit of advantage here. He can finish it with the skills he has.
That was a very nice play in the previous turn to free up the queen.
Queen, yeah.
he was hoping that he would, as you said, Shibu, he had a great opportunity to finish.
Yep.
It'll be a tricky position for Dinesh.
Dinesh misses this.
Sometimes it's a question of nerves, and not just nerves. It could be the amount of powder on the board, the over lubrication, which stops the flow of the striker. It could be a whole bunch of things, including that. I think there's an amount of nervous energy.
Absolutely, and plus this being the first board of the day, and even with the lights for the board to get warmed up and all, it might take 1 or 2 boards for them to really get warmed up.
How is he going to open up the right side of the board? Dinesh has his work cut out. I think he is going to use the glance.
You can
through
force
pocketing
entry,
this.
you can force entry the black and just put a defense there.
I think that was very clever. I don't know whether it's intentional, but it does provide Anil is sort of relatively blocked on that side, while he can still make it. I
Then-
thought Dinesh provided himself a chance to close the board out.
Yes, absolutely. There's a good chance here.
I think he's going to get the white out of there. He
Dinesh
missed it.
misses, and clearly Anil has a finish.
And he does prevail amidst all that nervous energy that is going on. It is 5 points to Anil. He had pocketed the queen, and there were 2 carom men on the board. It's board number 2, and we'll have to see how Dinesh is going to respond with his strike.
Right. And Dinesh has, throughout the tournament, we've seen that Dinesh has some amazing breaks, and hopefully he can capitalize on this break.
While Dinesh is working, how he's going to. What you're seeing on the screen is how each one of them have their own few rituals. They take out the residual boric powder from the vertex of the board. Then they make sure that there is enough lubrication on their fingers. What is your ritual, Shibu? What do you do when you're ready to strike?
My ritual is usually a little bit of powder on the board, and I forget to take the powder on the board at the end of the board or the baselines. Once in 5 or 6 boards is when I take it off. But I think professional players like Dinesh and Anil, probably after every board, they are used to taking that off.
So you have to make sure it's very accurately set. I think the setup on the middle is extremely important.
Yes.
Few degrees of variation could yield a very different result, Shibu.
Absolutely. It does.
That's a pretty good break by Dinesh. That was an awesome.
That's an awesome
straight
display
cut.
of skill. Looks like Dinesh
That
has-
stroke, the second stroke Dinesh had, puts him at a great advantage at closing this board out, save for the one which is stuck between the several blacks on his own base.
Dinesh looks like has an opportunity to have a slam here.
this is what we were saying. The nervous energy on the first board is all gone. It's spiritedly taken over. What is he going to do here? I would guess that's a chance, but that's a better play. Now, I'm not so sure that was the right thing to do. Anil has an equal opportunity now to have a black slam. What is a black slam?
Black slam is whatever black remains on the board after the first break, and if the opponent finishes it, it's called a black slam.
I think Dinesh is trying to pocket both the black and the white together. He misses
it.
that. I think he was torn between either rotating the black out and pocketing his white, vis-a-vis pocketing them both.
Anil misses it.
It does be a tricky. He has to be very accurate on the shot.
Yes.
There was a wobbling of the
Yeah.
striker that he saw. Again, I would attribute that to some more nervous energy going around.
Absolutely, and Anil has a good opportunity here to finish. Anil has to play very carefully, especially the 2 coins right at the center of the board. But, okay,
I think Dinesh will close this out now.
yes.
That should give Dinesh 8 points to a 5-point lead.
Yep.
I think that's well done. I think the strike was so powerful. As you said, he had a chance for a slam, which is quite as elusive as a century in cricket, right?
Absolutely.
It requires a lot of coordination, a lot of skill, and a little bit of luck for that one
Yeah.
special stroke that
Yeah.
opens up everything else.
It was, if you notice, it was just that one coin, one white coin which got stuck on the base of Dinesh between the blacks, and he was trying to release it out before even taking the second last coin.
Yeah, that is a good effort, though.
Yeah.
I would not think there was any other play except for pocketing the one which was near the mouth and getting the striker to open up one of the blacks, so that he could have played probably a third pocket shot on the white.
On the
But
way.
it's a little bit of a stretch there, but I think that was the other possibility.
But at the same time, I guess that coin was important to block Anil. It's 4 or 5 coins.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that is the reason he didn't go for
Yeah,
it, because he didn't believe that
Correct.
it would yield the result that he wanted.
And then more than the slam, he wants to make sure he wins the board here.
Let's watch Anil break the second time in this set. I saw a white go on his left pocket, and there's a black also got pocketed, but it's a great break. The queen is open, and so are
It is-
virtually every other white on the board.
The white has opened up so beautifully here, and literally, it again looks like a good slam position here. Don't you agree, Murali?
Absolutely. So I'm going to watch with bated breath to make sure he takes capital advantage of this. I think it'll be still tricky on the middle of the board, and so also
Very nice.
he did clear up
Yeah.
that black, which was a hindrance on the middle white. I think he has a third pocket opportunity, or I think he's going to the right extreme. That was a good opportunity, a little difficult, albeit, but
Right.
at his skill level, I would have expected him to close the board out.
Absolutely.
But this is the pressure it creates once you have such a good opening. It makes your opponent fumble the ball, if you want to call it that.
Yep. And here again, Anil goes for a finish. I think both coins, both whites on the, probably okay, on the right pocket. He misses that.
Like every other game and sport, Shibu, confidence is a huge thing. I have seen Anil make those both those whites independently without touching any of the coin before, and that was a very nice play by Dinesh to sort of make the second white difficult.
Difficult.
While he gives himself an opportunity, and that was also a good play. Anil does have a finish on this. He has to be careful not to nuts the black,
Yep.
and that's what he does.
And that's
Well
eight-
played, Anil.
And that's, I think, 8 points to Anil here.
No, it was 7.
Oh,
There
7,
There were
okay.
4 black caramel on the board. So it's over to board 4 at the end of board 3, or the first game. Anil leads 12 to 8. So what is interesting to me is the path to the semifinals. So in the US, for most of the events, we have something called a Swiss Round Robin League. In the 2023 edition, we had 128 participants from 5 different countries, and they had to go through 8 rounds of Swiss Robin to qualify to play in the championships group. 16 of them qualified to play the top 16, and they went to the pre-quarter matches, which was very tough. The field was very strong, and they completed their quarterfinals matches yesterday, leading them to get a seat on this Sunday's semifinal.
Semifinals. That's right, Murali. It's been a long journey. I'm sure these semifinalists will be or are tired from yesterday with long hours of games, but as we know, they are professional players. They're used to this grind, and this is no different than any other big tournament they probably have played in India as well.
I think Anil is going to make a play on. That is a lovely play. He accomplished multiple things, which is obviously bringing the queen back to his base, or rather, queen into the middle of the screen. That is a nice stroke, giving him a chance to.
For a black
Hopefully.
slam as well, right?
No.
You, no? Oh. Oh, this is okay.
How is Dinesh going to handle this? He's going to pocket that one. I think he will have the queen.
With the
And,
white, I think, will he take the white in the center?
I think that's what
Yeah.
he's going to do.
Yes.
That was beautifully done. That glance on the second white was so important in the previous stroke.
And Dinesh closes the board here with how many points, Murali? It's 6. Is it 6
That's
points?
correct.
Yeah.
So the cat and mouse game continues. We have Dinesh now leading Anil after the first 4 boards at 14 and 12. I think we're watching a cliffhanger here. It's going to be who wants it more.
Yeah.
It's going to be a battle of nerves. It's a battle of defensive strategies deployed on the board. I think it's going to be an exciting game to watch. What you just saw, the camera was blocked by the referee making sure the board, the powder, the lubricant on the board is spread well, and the pockets were clean. And now he's going to judge whether the player has set up the coins properly. That's what he
Referee.
just did, and now that's a go for Anil to strike.
Anil makes a strike, very good strike. I think Anil has at least 5 or 6 coins. Easy. And every break of both these guys looks like, see how the way Murali, the white opens up for them, even for an opportunity for a slam.
Right. I think that's a little more difficult shot. I think he was trying to pocket the one on the right side while push the other white down to the left side of the screen at the top. That would have given him room to go for the queen and the follow next. And there was a little bit of inaccuracy in that negative shot.
Yeah. And
Dinesh by nature is a very aggressive player. That's a mess. I think Anil is trying to be too cautious.
yeah, he doesn't want to make any mistakes at this point.
That was a beautiful stroke executed by Dinesh, making sure the queen comes back to his base and it's well protected.
And both of them are playing an offensive defense game here, making sure at least 1 or 2 coins are protected at any given point.
I think that's a great example of what he just said. He was trying to make sure, Dinesh, to get the black out of Anil's base, at the same time have a very aggressive approach towards defending Anil's whites. So you see one of Anil's coin,
Yeah.
and that was a costly miss in one sense. The queen is going to be gone. Dinesh takes care of the follow. When the queen is pocketed, we need to follow it up with one of your coins being pocketed as well, else the queen comes out. Since we have many different people in the audience, I thought it would be good to talk about a little bit of
Sure.
the Carom rules, the simple ones that we can also talk about. Anil does not have a position to finish this. He tried to pocket both of them. It's always tricky when it's an off angle.
Yeah.
When it's in a straight line, it's much more easier. For those who are uninitiated or new to the game, what we are referring to as striker is what Dinesh is right now holding in his hands. It's about 15 grams and spherical in shape. And the coins, when we talk about coins, we're basically talking about those puck-like things that you see, which are, we call them whites, but it's actually brown in color. And so there's this, what you just saw was a very skillful display of defense mechanisms in play. This is to make sure the other guy does not finish and bring an obstacle in the way and so on. Anil chose to pocket the particular white in the previous. That's a very skillfully selections are very important in this game.
Yeah, and Dinesh failed to. He was trying to defend one of the whites, but I think his striker slipped off and was not able to hit the whites here, and that's when Anil had an opportunity to close the board here.
The cliffhanger continues.
Yeah.
At the end of board 5, we're even Stevens at 14 apiece. Just to count the clock the other way around, there are 3 more boards left in this particular game. It's a best of 3 games. So whoever is ahead or gets to 25 minutes, 25 points, is the winner of this game.
And it's Dinesh's strike here. He's at 14, and he will go for a white slam here, and then which will, if he is successful here, which will take him past 25 or at 25. And same way, Anil is also on 14, so he'll try his best for a slam here.
Generally speaking, Shibu, it's my opinion that slams are holy grail. It doesn't happen every single time. I think it's going to be a battle of not giving an inch or a quarter away for the opponent to be able to score. And if the strike manifests in such a way that it opens up a possibility of a slam, that's what you'll see happening.
And they'll go for it. That's right.
So here, what Dinesh is trying to do is create his positions on the right side of Dinesh's screen. You see two whites which can be considered blocked at this point in time. I also called out the idea that Dinesh is a fairly aggressive player, while you can probably think of Anil as a calculative, position-based player.
That's true. And I think even for Anil, he is about at least 3 or 4 coins, which is in difficult positions here. He will also try to play safe here, making sure Dinesh doesn't have a finish.
I thought the other way around, Shibu, in this case. Since 3 of the coins were already protected, I thought he could be aggressive in his intent. I think that is what he tried to do. He still has a safe pathway, and that's beautifully done.
Yeah.
Dinesh made sure that the safe pathway does not exist. So that was a very good defensive stroke.
And I think they might go a little bit less on the aggressive side, just to make sure, they're 200% sure that the opponent doesn't close out just with a long strike or an aggressive strike. So
both of them are playing excellently well to change the position of the board literally every stroke. A lot at stake here. We are watching the semi-final of the 2023 US Open Carom Championship. The journey for all these players have been quite arduous. It's been 3 days of more than 12 to 14 hours of playing almost continuously with breaks for food and stuff. I thought that was a mistake. I think he didn't intend glancing.
correct, but the space was so limited there. He was trying not to glance, but
That was a very good shot executed by Anil. He brought the queen back to his base. He still doesn't have a great position to finish the board unless he makes this queen without touching the other. This black, sorry. I thought that was a very clever execution. That was an uncharacteristic.
the pressure is on here. These guys, they hardly miss coins, but this is a big semi-finals match.
So adrenaline rush counts for something, right? He played so beautifully those 4 coins to give him a position to actually close out the board. I'm colorblind, Shibu. I thought the one on Anil's base was actually the queen. It looks like it's not.
Oh, what a beautiful third pocket by
That was-
Dinesh, and he closes off the board here. Even looks like I was colorblind too, or
I think there's something going on. I think Anil may have raised a red flag about some foul which was not recognized by the umpire. That's my guess. We are really very far away from the actual place where the game is happening. We are about 2 rooms away. This is to make sure we are able to bring this live to you without ambient noise in the process. That was a good closeout board in one sense, very aggressive, though Anil had both those coins open.
Yes.
I think because Dinesh had taken the queen, it's a risk reward process. If he loses the board going for that white at the end, he would just be giving away 2 points, and I think that formed part of the calculus.
Right. And then at the end of 6 boards, they are 19, and Dinesh is 19, Anil is 14.
This is going to be a very crucial board for both of them. If Anil wants to play catch up, he has to ensure that he gets a few points accumulated at the end of this board. I think his position is pretty decent. I think it'll be important to see how the white at the center of the board is going to be played. That was a very nice nudge on the one which was like hanging in there. I think Anil has a great board position.
Yeah, Anil has a very good position here.
Hey,
Except-
Shibu, I was actually surprised that he didn't do a little more work with the previous coin, with the queen there.
With nudging the queen, you meant to say, Murali?
Yeah. So to me it seems to be a miss. The third party always looks at things very differently from where they're watching this board. I'm sure there's a different reality or a different angle from which they're watching at it.
And they might have a different plan altogether, you know. And they have done this ample of times, month over month, back in India and many other international tournaments here.
That's a very good skill to have, that very soft double touch to pocket that black. I thought that was a great demonstration of skill. Do you think he's going to be aggressive still?
No, he'll make sure. I mean, he has one of Anil's coin in his base, which is like a defense position. He'll go for a cut and try to open it.
I thought it was a missed opportunity for Anil on his previous turn. I think he was being really conservative. He could have closed out the board there, but he's the best judge. He's in the semi-final, not you and me. So I'm sure that will resonate.
He's trying to pull the queen back to make sure there is defense, and plus
that's a pretty
black.
good
Yep.
execution. He's giving himself enough room. I think what he was some technical difficulties.
Oh, that's a beautiful
mind-blowing
shot.
shot executed. This is aggression back in place. He has the queen and the follow.
He'll do a hook shot, I guess.
But he misses this. Anil has to close this out to make it 15 and 19. He needs to just keep that. It's both a mental and a physical game. Keeping his head together to punch the hole through here. So that's a big miss. That means that Dinesh now has 5 more points.
So Dinesh is on 24 at the end of 7 boards, and Anil is on 14. I guess the last strike is Anil's strike, right, Murali?
I think it's the other way around. I thought
It's
Anil
other way around?
started. That means it would be
Oh,
Dinesh's
Dinesh's strike.
because
Okay,
he just played the blacks.
got it.
That literally puts us out of reach. But for the idea, did you watch that game last night? Dinesh was playing Vikash Kosti from Dallas, United States, and Dinesh was actually ahead 21-10 with the last board to go with Dinesh on strike, and he missed the strike.
Strike, yeah.
And
Because-
Vikas went ahead to have a black slam on his first turn, getting him over the 21 that Dinesh had, and Vikas won that game. which
Going
is at
into the
20
third
20,
game,
21.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
That
was an
was-
amazing quarterfinals yesterday.
I'm sure Anil is hoping for something like that. The score shows 14 and 24. That basically means on this board, Anil will need 11 points, and that means should Dinesh pocket 2 coins, it's out of reach for Anil. Dinesh will simply make sure that he pockets
At
2 or
least 2
3
coins. He won't repeat yesterday's mistake against Vickers. I'll make sure the break is absolutely perfect.
And he just did that. So he had his 1 coin. So that brings the possibility for Anil to be 11. That's the 2 coins pocketed. Typically, they play out the board, or should Anil step up and say, "Hey, I concede this. Let's move on to the second set." I think that's what they're going to do, and that's exactly what Anil just did.
Yes.
So there you go. The first set or the first game is for it goes in favor of Dinesh. Anil, I thought, made a critical mistake on the previous board where he, I thought, had a chance to close that board out, and this is the price you pay for not taking that risk
Right.
at that point in time. So it's game on, guys. Cliffhanger it was till it was 14-14, and then the aggressor takes home the cake.
Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people, whether it's online or live here at Hampton Inn, and they'll be giving their predictions right now. What do you think, Murali? What is your prediction? After seeing Dinesh is up by 1 game here, what do you think?
It's a good question. I think we're commentators. We're not supposed to be betting on people. But if I was a betting man, I would still keep my money safely in its pocket. We just cannot say who's going to win. Even before the start of this game, I thought it was 50-50, and I still hold to that idea. It's going to be 50-50. Both of them have played each other for the past 37 years, I'm told.
Yes.
And I'm sure this is not their first rodeo against each other. There's a lot of gamification that will come into play. There's a lot of emotion fraying out there at the site.
And they know each other's game so well, their strengths, their weaknesses, they know it all.
Set 2, Dinesh starts it off. Just for the viewers, whoever starts the first set, the opponent starts the second set of 8 boards. So that's how you saw Dinesh make that break. It's a pretty good position. What you're seeing, for some of you new listeners, Anil has this coin on his strike zone, the black one. That's a very, very powerful position. He can open up the entire board with a bomb shot, and he's going to keep it there until he finds the right opportunity, and he's going to use it right now by making that. Oh, he didn't use it as a bomb shot this time.
No.
I think it was not needed.
Not needed, because I think all these black coins are separated individually and within reach for Anil to even think of closing it out. With the kind of skills Anil has, there is a good possibility, he can close this out.
I thought the queen was the tricky position there. He does have a path, but he has to be absolutely accurate. He brings the queen back. That was very clever. He does have a play on the queen. And the follow will be the one on his left. And he has to keep his head to make this straightforward cut.
And that's a
just,
black slam. Yeah. What a great display of skill here.
And I thought that was perhaps a 10-point board. Yeah, that is correct. It's on the screen for you. It was on Dinesh's break that there was a black slam by Anil, and that puts him ahead by 10 points. And I thought that was a very calm-headed Anil on display.
Yes, and Dinesh's break was good, but he unfortunately missed a sitter there, which costed him, the 10 points basically. This game is a game of nerves. Lot of nerve at the right minute. Both Anil and Dinesh are experienced, in holding on to their nerves, their emotions.
I think right now with Anil to break on this second board of the second set, I think he should be coming off from a high on having a black slam. Let's see what happens. I think there's a little bit of effort in trying to get it absolutely right. The board opened up nicely, but that one coin did not go, so he loses his turn. Dinesh has his work cut out. Many of the blacks are not positioned that very well. And let us see how he creates opportunities for himself.
And see how beautifully Dinesh is trying to defend Anil's coin back into his space, Anil's space.
That was a very nice cut executed. He'll probably have a play at the open black in the middle. And now I think he would make sure the queen is off and away from.
Trying to pull back the queen, looks like. Cut and pull back.
That is very difficult. He didn't have the space to actually have a good play on the queen. And I think it's a pretty good board position for Anil, save the one on his base or below his strike zone. That's calmly done. That was the queen pocketed. Now he has to follow it up. He has many a coin to safely play. That was gentle nudge and positioning the coin which was out of position a little further up. You would have expected that to go a lot further.
Is making sure there's at least two defenses for Dinesh. He doesn't want to play freely here.
That was a very calmly done move. You don't need to be flustered. You simply take care of it. You just bring back a coin in a defensive position so you can potentially play freely.
That's Murali, in your words, you call it always as insurance. Make sure there is at least one or two insurances, right?
Yep. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Just put a board here and just you guys keep playing and then talking.
Is he going to stay aggressive on this? I think He may. Oh, that was nicely done.
Is that a
Still
queen?
don't-
Is
no,
that,
the
no,
queen is
right?
gone.
Yeah.
Anil took the queen.
Okay.
He still.
I think he'll cut the black and remove the white.
No, he doesn't have a way to cut the black, right?
I think from here he can. There is a long angle there.
it is very difficult to reach all the way. I think that's where it went all the way inside. Now, Anil has to be very, very careful. He has to make sure that I'm not so sure whether that's the best move.
I think he'll nudge it and get the black back to his base.
That was a good call, Shibu. I think he's going to third pocket this and then put himself in a position because he already has the insurance he wants.
But
I think it's a pretty big ask from Anil to. That was very, very nicely done.
what a defense. But still, the board position is in favor of Dinesh at this point. Anil has to really keep defending at the same time trying to open those two whites which are stuck to each other.
That was a mistake, but I think the calculus for Anil would be the idea that he would be giving away 4 points, not 7, because he took the queen already. I think Anil was hoping that the white would get pocketed and the black would come out.
And then probably go for a defense, I guess.
Right. That's why insurance is always so much more important. You need to be very accurate and make sure that you get back a turn. And that's the whole point of the insurance, that the next guy cannot finish the board.
And with the level of players they are, sometimes just one insurance doesn't just work out. They try to have at least 2 insurances in place.
Yeah, that was a good 4 points for Dinesh. This leads us to board 3. This is you're watching the semi-final of the singles event, the 2023 US Open Carom Championship. This is being conducted in Maryland, in the city of Frederick. We have all been guests here, 128 people having flown in from different parts of the world. You're watching a very exciting second semi-final between Anil Vemuri, who is on the left of your screen, and Dinesh Babu from Chennai, India, is on the right of the screen. What you just saw there briefly is the umpire suggesting that Dinesh needs to get some part of the setup right, and he had to redo the setup for him to start.
The umpire also makes sure during the setup there's no gaps between the coins and the coins are tightly packed.
I think you should marvel at this particular strike because it just doesn't provide any breathing space for Anil. And Anil had to go for the jugular. He had to play something aggressive, changing the position of the board altogether. And I'm not so sure he was very successful at doing it. I think he inadvertently landed up having 2 black men, carom men, on the other side of the board.
Other side, yeah.
And that generally means at least one more additional chance. He won't be able to, he'll need at least multiple chances to close the board out.
Is that the queen on the right side? Looks like, right? Yes.
That's calmly done and safely covered. Is he going to glance one of the black men there to pocket the? He did just that, but I'm not sure that pocket has opened up for him. The top left of Anil's point of view.
I think Anil will try to do a pair which is sitting at Dinesh's base, which will open up that pocket.
It's beautifully done. I think they're listening to you, though we are like a few rooms away. That sounded crazily accurate, Shibu. That was
What a
another
display.
beautiful
display.
expose of skills.
And with this bomb shot, probably he can open up the black there.
Or he is going to probably take those whites out. He tried just that. He doesn't have a clear path, or it's very, very fine.
He might
The space between.
go for a rebound.
No, I think he does have the
He
space
does?
there. He has to be extremely accurate about it.
Oh,
That is the accuracy we're talking about. It's
what
another
a display of
5
skill. What a display of skill.
It's another 10 points to Anil. I just counted 7 carom men on the board. That would put Anil ahead by 20 points to 4, and that he's safely in the driver's seat in this game too.
Yes. Now some of the predictions after the first game might be changing by now, live here. But great display of skills by Anil. He's come back.
I think I was smart. I didn't pick any side. I put my money safely in my pocket and not wagered a bet on either of them. This is pretty much whatever you do, I can do better kind of a deal. I thought that is pretty much on display. It was the soft-spoken Anil became an aggressive guy to finish up that board. It was not easy. He made it look easy, but I can assure you that finish was not easy at all.
Anil had a break. He misses his break.
Even though you miss the opening or the break that we're referring to, it's the equivalent of a happy mistake in the sense that if it doesn't provide a good position for the opponent, it's still a very good break.
Right. Yes, a lot of insurance is in place at this point.
That was a delicate touch through which Anil executed both the offensive move and the defensive move at the same time. If you're watching this, this is the semi-final of the 2023 US Open Carom Championship, being held very close to the nation's capital. This is in Maryland, in a city in the city of Frederick. We thank the city of Frederick to host us. And while I'm reintroducing the game to you, Anil is on a roll. I think he is going to go for a straight cut and bring it back on, or a simple straight cut, since Dinesh did not have position.
Yep. Dinesh has at least 1, 2, 3 coins, which is difficult on his hand.
And he threads the needle right there with the
Yeah.
previous shot. That was one more uncharacteristic mistake. I thought he should. That's nerves kicking in.
Yeah.
Even when you're in the lead, you have nerves. I personally thought it was a missed opportunity. I think Anil should have perhaps played a third pocket on the coin on his left, towards the coin that already exists that he was attempting. And suddenly the position changes, or Dinesh changes the position to,
And
if that stroke had worked, that would be Dinesh's board. Even now, I think Dinesh is.
fairly at an advantageous position here.
That was nicely done. A little nudge on the black coin on its way back. That's the stroke I wanted him to play the previous turn,
Yeah.
which would have given him the board. Now this is.
Two third pockets. What a display of skill! And Anil closes off
The
this
game.
Game.
Yeah, that's he gets the five black caramel on the board, and the queen, and that gives him game two, where even Stevens again, Anil Vemuri wins the second game. Dinesh already won the first game, a pretty close one for most part of it, and now they get a 5 minute break.
They get a 5 minute break, and what do you think, Murali, will be going on in their heads right now? With both being 1-1 and just 8 more boats to go.
I think both of them will first head to the restroom. It's been such a cliffhanger. You need to empty your bowels first and make sure you're thinking straight. There's a huge adrenaline rush that would have happened multiple times. They both are going to be reviewing quickly what they should do differently, despite playing with each other for 37 years, as you said. And I think the most important thing is give themselves a pep talk. There are no coaches in this game.
That's right. And do you think at this point, when they take a break, they do their stretches or their normal routine, like a 2 minute stretch? Will that help to refocus? What do you think?
That's a very interesting question. Each of us have our own ways of exhaling and inhaling and getting to a state of mind where we are prepped to, go on with the game. I think some of them would indulge in a few of those stretching things. Somebody may get a big piece of cake if that is what makes them tick better and faster. I think that's what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I've seen some of these players, their sugar level goes down, especially on a longer day. This is first thing in the morning. They might be okay. But they take, some cookies or something to get the sugar level high and keep going.
Talking about sugar, I have a very interesting piece of information for you, Shibu. And I was wondering what would be the equivalent of that in Kerala. Now, this is sort of a quick quiz question for all of you. When people go and play chess in a tournament setup, they typically play 8 hours continuously. Do you know how many calories, on an average, a chess player actually burns in one single day of tournament chess?
I have no idea. I've not researched into it. I have no idea, Murali.
So, just to contextualize, when you run or play tennis, for example, for 2.5 hours, you would probably burn about 750 calories. And one day of tournament chess, they burn 6,000 calories.
That's a lot of calories. And is it because of the mental pressure they take? Or,
Absolutely. They're thinking through, and their brains are heated up so much more and burning up a lot of energy for them.
Well,
And in that sense, in that equivalent, I would not be surprised if our Kerala players, when they play an intense 12 hours on a tournament day, would perhaps be burning as much,
As
because
much
both
or
physical
more.
and mental.
right. There is concentration required. There is the display of skills, accuracy, a lot of factors which come in play.
Hey, let's also take a break for a few minutes. We'll be back as soon as the players are back and ready to go and entertain us for the third set. Thank you, folks, for listening. Do write to us and let us know how we can do better in bringing the game to you and make it more interesting. We'll take a few minutes off.
We are back here, and it looks like the third game has started, and Anil has broke. The break has failed here. Dinesh misses a easy sitter, and looks like Anil has a good board position. The pressure is on. Anil misses a sitter, thumb here, and still position wise I think Anil is still at an advantageous position here, so we'll see how the game progresses. He's going for the long cut, looks like. He's successful. He might be going for the pair, the white and white pair. Okay. Dinesh goes for a defense here. He wants to make sure there is insurance in place. Dinesh might try a pullback of coins to his base. Anil has pocketed the queen here. He might try to go for a full finish here. And if he's successful, it's again a big board for Anil, so he won't miss this opportunity to close this out. Dinesh might do a long cut, glance, yeah. Let's put white in a difficult position, but Anil has a third pocket opportunity, looks like. Oh, yeah, it's a costly miss for Anil. Dinesh will try and use every opportunity he's getting here so that the damage is, far less if at all he loses the board. screen flipped out suddenly.
Hey, that was a brilliant finish by Dinesh to steal that board from Anil. That was a big swing. I thought Anil should have gotten 9 points, and Dinesh gets a point, so it's about a 10-point spread there.
Yeah,
A 10-point swing for.
Yeah, Anil had at least 2 or 3 opportunities.
By Dinesh to steal that board from Anil. That was a big swing. I thought. With some technical issues there, we are back live again on the audio side of it. Anil is going to be pretty cautious on this board. It's an interesting position for Dinesh. He has a queen. That's a happy miss in one sense.
Do you think it will be playing on Anil's mind, the previous board loss? What do you think, Murali?
I think that's the difference between the professionals and amateurs playing the game. I think they reset pretty quickly. If I want to use cricket parlance, Dravid very quickly forgets the ball that beat him and resets completely. Dinesh played a defensive effort on the queen. The queen is sort of in a no man's land position for Dinesh, so Anil is going to leave it there. There's some mind games going on at this point to make sure not a quarter is given away and the quarter taken.
I think both of them might be a little more conservative in their approach than the first 2 games.
To me, it looked like the word conservativeness is not on Dinesh's dictionary. He did play an aggressive shot to have a play on the queen and positions the queen nicely. He has a bomb position as well with which he can open up his blacks which are out of position. I think he's he has the 2 blacks on his left. He would use the bomb coin to have a play on the 2 blacks, or he may defer. He's using the bomb coin on this side to open up the 2 blacks, and that's exactly what he does.
Anil opens up beautifully, and he'll go for the long coin first. Do you think there is a pathway for him? Looks like there is a very... Oh, he's taking a reverse, a hook shot.
I did think he had it on the straight pocket, but he had to be accurate on it. Now this again opens up a steal for Dinesh. And Dinesh is not shy of using these opportunities. I think it's going to be easy rebound on the last coin, and he misses the one. I think it's again a battle of nerves. That should give Anil a comfortable 5-1 lead on this board, or in this third crucial game. No, it's the third board of the final game of the semifinals of the 2023 US Open Carom Championship. It's poised nicely. it's nail biting. It's a cliffhanger and a cat and mouse game all in one, packed together.
And at this point, just after two boards, it's still anybody's game. There are six more boards to go, and the point difference is very marginal. So it's both have equal opportunities here. Let's see the display of skills in the next 5 or 6 boards.
Should Anil have pocketed in the previous board, he would have been way ahead in this third game. But it's again evenly poised at this point. It's the third board of the final game of the semifinals of the US Open 2023 Championship. What you're watching now is a request from Dinesh for a striker change. There are many things that come into play. Sometimes the running of the striker is not smooth, so you would have a few strikers in your arsenal. You would go and pick. My impression is that is exactly what Dinesh has done. He's quickly making sure he's polishing the striker and getting ready for this crucial third board. What you're seeing is a perhaps 3000 or a 5000 grit paper, which is used to polish the striker. The strikers have to be pre-evaluated for the correct weight and the correct size. There are regulations about
15 gram in place for the striker, and there is diameter regulations as well.
So these strikers have already been pre-evaluated before the tournament started, and the referee has checked and allowed for that striker change. I have seen Anil's have his break several times in the past 3 days, and typically he never misses having a good break.
I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on both sides. Even they've gone through this multiple times, but it's this USCA 2023 US Open is a very prestigious event, and both of them would want the cup home.
I think the board is very interesting at this point. What typically happens, Shibu, in a crucial game like this one, the center bunch of coins are very carefully handled by both the players to make sure that the other guy cannot finish, and that is a brilliant shot executed by Dinesh. Was it the queen on the cover?
It was the queen, looks like.
That was another brilliant stroke by Dinesh. He was hoping to make both of those coins, the white and the black, pair together. That would have given him an opportunity to finish.
Apparently, Dinesh, looking at the board position, Dinesh is slightly advantageous over Anil.
But he does have a couple of coins which are out of position. At the same time, I think, as we talked about it, there's a lot of insurance in play. He still would have to make a play on bringing the black, the second one down.
Cut and ribbon.
He was not very successful. That gives a slight opening for Anil to play the coins on that base. He would use a gland shot and get the white back while pocketing the other white on his left. It's exactly what he does. He's going to keep that other black intact for a little while until he's able to make a play on his white, which is on Dinesh's base.
Looks like going for a card.
That was calmly executed.
Do you think Anil will go for a punch or a third pocket on the left side?
Both are available. I think it's whatever he's comfortable at that point in time. That was nicely done, making it even more difficult for Dinesh to get this board. If Dinesh stays aggressive, that was a very nice play, providing Anil with a slightly difficult opportunity, and he does it so nicely.
And Anil should be closing off this board.
That's nicely done by Anil. He kept his nerves, he kept his cool. He gets 1
1
point.
point. Yeah.
He moves him to 6. Now we are on to the 4th board of the final set in the 2023 US Open Carom Championship. This is a semi-final game between Dinesh Babu on your left and Anil Vemuri on the right. There's one key thing that's potentially going to happen after this game. In the final game of a three-set game, after the 4th board or 12 points, they switch positions to give both the players an even chance at all the board conditions they have to face on either side. That's since the score is 6-1, it's not crossed. Neither of them have crossed 12, and still the 3rd board. They are seated in the same places. That's which would happen on the next board.
Yeah. Looks like Dinesh did a defensive break. Looks like because Anil has only 1 or 2 coins there.
That is a very, very, very complicated queen pocket, which he made it look so easy. I thought that was a miss by Dinesh. The next few strokes is all going to be about controlling the board position. There's that bit of nervous energy coming back on both their games.
And both of them are so extra cautious at this point, very carefully choosing coins. Nobody wants to take a chance here. There's a lot at stake here.
There was the previous 3 attempts have all been a product of some nervous energy. The reason, why do you think Anil took out that white coin from the pocket?
He doesn't want an advantage position for Dinesh to nudge other coins and take the pocket coin to take out that opportunity. He took that. This is unexpected of Anil missing a straight sitter.
This is the 4th board of the final set between Anil Vemuri and Dinesh Babu. Dinesh made a brilliant play there. and now it should be. I think he should comfortably go for a finish here. Most likely the father, white first, is playing a punch, and he misses that. It may prove to be expensive. This this is the semi-final of a prestigious event in the world, and that miss was uncanny, leading to a fairly big board for Dinesh Babu, who gets 10 points from this board, taking him to 11. So it's going to be 11 and 6 after the end of the fourth board. It is the end of the fourth board, so they should be switching if the umpire calls it out. I think the umpire just called it out. So they're going to switch positions because they're in the fourth board, though they've not crossed the 12-point limit.
And still, at the end of four boards, the 11-6, the point difference is still not much, just a 5-point difference, which can be covered at any given board.
But I think Shibu, the idea that Anil had to play that black coin at the mouth 3 times proved to be quite expensive and may cost him the match at some point. Though only 4 boards are left, 5 points could be a mountain to climb.
Yes.
Based on what you're feeling at that point in time. A reset is very important. Not a physical reset that they just did, but also a mental reset. There's this idea about scoreboard pressure. Can you talk about that, Shibu?
Scoreboard, yeah. Anytime when there is a difference in scores, especially on the opponent, and 4 boards to go, 5 points, there is always pressure slowly mounting up. And when both the players are of equal caliber,
it's that drip effect, right?
Yeah.
We saw that in play in the previous board when Anil missed a sitter coin multiple times. That's a very, very good break. He has a good spread of his coins. That will also mean how he manages the middle of the board. I think that's exactly what he's trying to do now. He's going to cut that and bring it back. So I think he played a very, very good shot.
Brilliant shot by Anil. I think he's trying and saying what are his opportunities to close out.
It's a nice play on the queen. He will perhaps execute that straight coin. I think the board is pretty much in favor of Anil at this point. He has to keep his. That's a very nice play. He still has a coin on his base. I'm not sure how he's going to navigate. But should he?
And because of that coin, I think the straight coin, that looks difficult for him.
I think he missed the very coin he just played. I thought he should have played that on the other pocket, on the far left of his board frame. That's a very nice play by Dinesh, making sure he gets one more turn apart from the one white which is on Anil's base, which is protected by the blacks on either side.
I think Anil will try to do a cut release here.
Shibu, do the strategies in the board keep changing based on how you're feeling, the scoreboard pressure?
That's one also strategy change based on the current coin positions in place, So there is no, you can't come with a predetermined strategy. It is board by board, the position always changes.
Was that a mistake by Dinesh? He puts one more back, saving his position. That's a wise move. He's undecided. That was brilliantly executed, making sure he ensures himself. I think that's a tricky position of the two whites on Anil's base. He's going to leave it like that.
Plans to defend, I guess.
I'm thinking at this point,
At this point, Dinesh has an advantage, I guess.
he converted the board to an advantage
Yeah.
based on the conservative play that Anil produced. This That's a very nice move by Dinesh. He's going to perhaps pocket this and then get the black at the base as a third pocket into Dinesh's right
He's
pocket.
going all out because there is a insurance in place over there.
You live and die by the sword. That was nicely done. He will now pocket this white and make the other white a little more comfortable to work with. The other white actually goes in. That was perhaps not intentional, but all the better for Anil. He gets 4 points, that gets him to 10. And at the end of board number 5, it's once again back to cat and mouse, and even Stevens at 10 and 11. The strike now for Dinesh becomes very important.
Very important. I think the score 10-11, the audience is here in Hampton Inn. They are excited. 3 more boards to go. And there is, like an audience, there is jitters all around. I'm sure what the pressure the players will be feeling. What do you think, Murali?
Forget the players. I'm sitting here and shitting bricks literally. So it's very well poised, and this is the kind of game one would expect to watch. A lot of jousting for board position. Dinesh is all ready to have a 6th break. It's a pretty decent break. Actually, Dinesh is so skilled, he doesn't necessarily have to have the best break. He converts most of them into a good one.
I think a lot of the positions Dinesh has converted beautifully, in terms of position advantage.
That was a better choice. Anil, it could have been a dangerous coin. That was a very nice attempt by Dinesh to get rid of that position. I thought Anil was hoping the white that he glanced would not actually stop him from playing his own blacks. I think that was a nice move by Anil. It sort of protected the queen from being pocketed. That was an example of a cut release, played from a different position.
At this time, I guess none of them have, really an advantage position. Both are equals at this point. That's what I see.
I think it'll be very interesting to watch the different choices each one player is making.
I think At this time, both of them have kind of equal defenses in place, right, Murali? Insurance is in place. Nobody is going for any big crazy shots here, playing really conservative.
It'll be important for Anil to make sure he navigates this very well. That was a very nice shot executed by Anil. He would. That's a very nice example of converting or having a board position which is a little bit more advantageous to you. That was a hard shot played. Dinesh is going to try and remove the black from there while he pockets this. That's brilliantly done. That opens up the board and actually in favor of Dinesh, but he misses that very badly.
But still doesn't look like Anil has a position because the right side pocket is blocked by Dinesh's coins.
I think Dinesh is battling with which one he's to play. I think he missed that very badly.
Costly miss for Dinesh for sure. I think that is the biggest insurance which Anil is relying on at this point of the game. That and the one wide towards the left where it's blocked by Anil's coins.
That was a very difficult shot executed pretty nicely. Takes the rebound on that. The board has switched to now being in favor of Anil at this point.
I think Dinesh shouldn't take that thumb, right? Because Anil has a third pocket. Yeah.
That was very nicely done.
Yeah.
If Anil is not careful,
Might be do a third and release the striker on the other black.
this is how skilled the players are. Now it's become the idea of who blinks first in terms of who makes the first big mistake at this point. Folks watching the videos at this point in time, you would see and realize that what Anil played was a brilliant move. And let's see how Dinesh responds. Back live. Anil cannot defend that wide, so he has to go for it. And that is a very nicely done last coin. And now, Anil had the queen. So Anil is now up by 3 points and with a crucial 7th break coming up. So let me share the score with you again very clearly. This is the third of the best of 3 games that is being played to decide who moves to the finals of the 2023 US Open Carom Championships being held here in Frederick, Maryland. We are very close to the nation's capital. and this is a cliffhanger like no other. Um, it's going to be Anil's break on the seventh break of this wonderful match that we're witnessing. It's we promised you a nail biter, and we have one.
And still, at this point, it's equal opportunity for both. Both these breaks will be crucial, for both of them. And
It becomes now, I think the interesting things to watch is not just the skills, but who wants it more, who is better able to keep his nerves, who is better able to execute.
absolutely.
The skills inventory for both of these players are very, very, very high, and it is what choices you make, and what choices you make, and how well it manifests.
And at this point, they're making sure
Anil has another failed break, but a happy mistake. But Dinesh does have a bomb coin. Dinesh should have been hoping to move that right away. Now he is going to use the bomb coin to have a big play. This is absolutely I don't know what to use, what to say. The bomb coin touched nothing. The bomb shot, rather. It's a set of very tough choices. I think he will yield to the choice of not just freeing his coin but defending. And I think he did a marvelous job. I think he brought the queen back to his base and changed the position pretty well. But Anil does have quite a few openings. He can pocket most of the coins that are available to him, except the queen, which he still has a play. I thought he should have pocketed a few more coins before he played
the queen,
the
right?
queen, yeah.
I thought he would have pocketed a few more coins, take the queen on these.
But he'll know his pressure point much better than us. It's very, very, very interesting. It's going to be positional play again and again and again. I think that was a mistake or a failed attempt at
Defending the queen.
it perhaps was a wise move by Anil to make sure he doesn't go for an ambitious shot on the queen rather than defend it. Dinesh has very few options here. I think that is one of them. Ensuring that that pocket is free for him to work with. Anil makes a play, and a wise one. But it also opens up the queen for Dinesh, so he has to play the queen, is what I would think. So that's open for him also. That was a sidebar chat where, as nervous as some of you all watching this, I'm not sure that defensive move actually worked for Anil at that time. I think it's currently not very nicely. I think it's in a fine balance for Dinesh more so than Anil at this point. I think he's going to free up that coin or make a play on. That's brilliantly done. It just puts Anil in such a quandary. I think he's going to make it a third pocket attempt. No.
Both three coins are difficult for Anil here. right now looks like Dinesh is at a better position.
That was an important defensive move. That was a very interesting calculus by Dinesh. I think he's going to press the white and pocket the follow on the queen. It was difficult to
Yeah.
start with.
Yeah.
Not so sure he should have played that queen at that point in time. But I think he's still safe in relation to the board position. But Anil is pretty much capable of closing this out on this time.
And Anil is very good with his thumb shot, so there is a good chance, he will go all out.
That is playing it safe. If he does lose the board, not able to finish that last coin, then it would be just giving a point away. But this is a defensive move that did not work. It was a little more pressure on in terms of force applied on that defensive move. Giving 1 point away was better than giving many more points away. I think was his calculus when he pocketed the queen.
Absolutely.
So we're going all the way. This is, as they say, goes down the wire. This is the very last board of the semifinals of the 2023 US Open Carom Championship between Anil Vemuri on your left and Dinesh Babu on your right, who have flown all the way from India to participate in this US Open event. They're one set apiece or one game apiece, and this is the third game, and this is the last board, and Dinesh trails Anil by 2 points. It's absolutely anybody's game. It is you live and die by the sword.
And Dinesh will be looking at all opportunity for a great break. He'll make sure, he positions the coins perfectly without any gaps. Make sure there's no mistakes in the break. What do you think, Murali? There's some extra precautions here?
I think we need to have extra precautions commenting on this. I'm not sure how do we communicate the tension in the air, the palpable silence in the room. Literally everybody is gathered around this place right now. My best guess is about almost 55 to 60 people are around this particular board at this point in time. And each one of them is breathing lighter, and here we go. That would definitely constitute a good break to put some additional pressure. Dinesh is going to pocket as many coins that are in non-defensive positions. I think the tension is being felt by everybody. There was a foul called. I'm not sure what the foul was. It may have been a line that was.
Or did Dinesh touch a coin while trying to hit that white?
Yeah, it could be one of them.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting how Anil navigates his turn, but it looks like he preferred to take out that white coin from his pocket. This will be a brilliant display over the next few turns as to how to play positional carom. Here we saw Anil execute both an offense and a defense attempt.
Both of them are kind of out of position at this point. Again, equal opportunities at this point.
The queen will not be very important unless it's available for easy completion. I would predict at this point that the queen is probably going to be the last one to be pocketed. And queen presents itself to Anil. I think he has to go for it because it's in a good position for Dinesh as well. That's what he will do. Now, if Anil does pocket this follow, then it puts him at a slight advantage in terms of if he leaves just one black man on the carom board, he wins. He pockets all the black carom men, he wins.
It's a beautiful defense by Anil. He's making sure insurance are in play.
I think it'll be interesting to watch. I do think, except the one on his base, Dinesh has his work cut out for him. That was nicely done. But it's still quite out of position, and he will go on to play some more defense. He was contemplating an offensive move. I think Anil is in a great position to actually finish most of his coins in this turn while pushing the white in, and that's what he does. That's double insurance for you, but in the same place. So unless he pockets very, very nicely, which he does again.
He got an advantage now on those two black. He can press and get the other black here.
That's nicely done as well. It's going to be challenging to keep his nerves to make one of those two blacks that he's going to attempt. While this does open the gates somewhat, but at this point, if I was a betting man, I should go with Anil being a favorite here. But I've been wrong several times.
I think Anil will make sure that at least he tries to take three blacks.
I think he should pocket both those blacks, which I think is what he's going to do. That will make even if Dinesh was to get the board at this point, it will be a tie.
No, but he's...
No, it will be a tie, right? Because it's 12 and 14.
Right.
So I think with this position, he should be aggressive to try and make the one of the two remaining blacks. I think that is still wise. And now Dinesh has to go all out to ensure that he can defend that too, right?
Does he have a pair on that black?
Would you make the choice to play the pair at this point? Should he miss it? It's a definite tie, but Anil is an advantage. He got the queen, and there are only 2 coins left. The worst case that could happen is the idea that it's a tie and they play a tiebreaker board or whatever the rules of the tournament are. It'll be an interesting set of choices. That was very interesting in itself. I think Dinesh is going to pocket his 2 whites and is probably going to go for a third pocket or a glance or a pull on the other white. I'm not so sure this was the intended result of his previous play. There was a pretty difficult shot executed.
He might defend the black, probably.
But Anil can make this.
No,
black.
that's difficult.
I think I and Shibu have decided to fight this over. We are as confused as some of you as to what he's going to do.
And he makes it.
So we promised you a cliffhanger. This is a double cliffhanger for you. It was a very aggressive move. The kind of skills you need to really have to make that last one, I can't tell you. It's literally years of penance, years of spending time on the board. They're professional players, and It's going to be decided as per the tournament rules. If everything is a tie, then it's going to be something we call a shootout. Can you explain this shootout to the audience, Shibu?
The shootout is a best of three. They place the queen in the center, and then they get 3 chances each.
Do they take they go 3 chances one at a time? Or
One at a time, they go 3 chances.
Alternatively, right?
Alternatively, and if let's say they are tied at the end of 3 chances, then there's something called sudden death. You get a chance per person.
So this is pretty much like a soccer match being decided based on the sudden death equation, right?
That's right.
Okay. So they each of the two get 3 chances. They go alternatively, and if they're even at the end of 3 chances, then they take a turn each until one of them misses to declare the other one victor.
That's right.
So it's Anil going first. So Anil misses. So that is of the 3 chances. We have to describe this orally for you because we don't have a way to put it on the screen. Dinesh takes his first turn. So Dinesh also misses. So there's 0-0 after the first turns.
They got 2 more turns here.
Anil makes his second one, so it's Anil 1 and Dinesh 0. If Dinesh has to stay alive, he has to pocket this. Dinesh misses his second one. It is Anil's third turn. Should Anil make this, I think he will be the victor.
Yep.
Anil misses it. So it is one more turn for Dinesh. Should he make it, they'll be even at the first 3 turns. Dinesh misses it, and Anil is the victor. And Dinesh is the vanquished. What a brave set of soldiers we had fighting this out. Well, it is such a thrilling game. Beautiful way to end the game. This is definitely it's like Paisa Vasool, right? The past 2 hours you spent with us instead of watching the beautiful India-Pakistan cricket match yielded in such a beautiful nail-biting cliffhanger. It is Anil Vemuri moves to the finals of the 2023 US Open Championship.
What a brilliant display of skills, Murali, between both the players, equals, and coming back after the 3 games, coming back to be equal again after 3 games.
Yeah, so we had an exciting time presenting this to you. We hopefully made the viewing worthwhile by us being the voice in your head. Let me quickly put together what is on tap. The program schedule, we just finished with the single semi-final. Will be on mute. Okay. So,
Yogesh.
Okay, so the other semi-finals was also a brilliant display of skills between Shamil Pure of Sri Lanka via Netherlands and Yogesh Pardesi, the multiple-time world champion and multiple-time Indian national champion. Yogesh Pardesi got the better of Shamil Pure in that match. So we are all set for mind-blowing singles finals later in the day today. So the next program on the tap for you in a few more minutes, or perhaps 15-20 minutes, is going to be the doubles finals. And the doubles finals is also going to be wonderful because it's going to be between the team of Yogesh Pardesi and Anil Vemuri on one side, and they definitely need a break right now before they get and play the doubles finals. And they will be playing the team of Louis Fernandez from Canada, and he's paired up with Chamil Kure. So it will be something which is exciting to watch, so stay tuned.
You can you can end it saying we'll be stopping this stream, but USCA channel already has another stream. Tune into that for all the remaining matches.
Okay. Hey, guys, a quick announcement. If you're still watching, we already started streaming the doubles finals match in a few more minutes in another USCA channel, YouTube channel. It will be published for you to go and access it. So we are signing off from this live stream on to the next one. Thank you so much for riding this very well fought semifinals of the 2023 US Open Carom Championship. Thank you, Shibu. That was very exciting to bring it live to our audience.
Yep. Thank you, audience here. This is Shibu and Murali again signing off for now, and then we'll be back again soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Good job, Shibu.
Thank you.
You are officially a panel member now in Commentary Box.
Get your toilet paper and wipe that seat, man. I'm sure they have to see it.